Entebusha, the first gentleman of the land, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, passed 10 bills. As he say, some of the bills, protect low income earners. At some kitwa. You better do before then. Aha, authentic plus studios. Make sure so be like you subscribe. You know share. I'm a full so any Ashe. It is somebody say by this one who social media say yes Mahama assign a bill B a pass bill B say abedane law. It is true. But then this particular bill say Mahama assigning. Some of them protecting low income earners and some of them in fact say bianco biako wi akoko ni akọ jeli no say no some of the bill no say so we akoko no crampo na in fact instead of say you be man 10 years no e betimi amane djuma baby okọ wi akoko no or say bia say adon obedo say na be ya bibia betimi atodi. Now one of the bill at Mahama edi kan pass ya na say bia or sign here customs acts. And there have been so many reports about corruption at Ekoso Ewatamahabo and other custom or the same sectors such as Nyasam Kitwa. Now this particular bill at Mahama apasi ebeboa amachese affiliate up those loopholes such as itimima corruption Ekoso at Ghana itimi boka bibribeno.
The first is the Customs Act 2026. This voluminous document, Customs Act 2026. It incorporates all the amendments that have been done over the years into one single document. And so it codifies all the customs acts into this document. It makes it simpler to administer, and it will make it more efficient, and it will seal the loopholes that have made government lose a lot of revenue as a result of the scattered nature of the law. So that has just been signed, the Customs Act.
Now, Bakubium Community Service Acts. This Community Service Act, Mahama Pasi. Senya medical car say, Senya Kobi wi akoko, and I see be a punching, ebi oku wi abodie, ne obetene esi akojeli 10 years, 20 years, ebi 50, 5 years no. Say this particular Community Service Act, ebe boama nipa no, say bianka ebe chi na akotum no, ebe timi amana ye ejuma community labor. Say be a gata mukrampona, you be man ye for 1 month. Send a beya, in fact, you bet me a keep or mine clean.
Then we have the Community Service Act. This is an act to provide for non-custodial service sentences for misdemeanors and other such minor offenses. So instead of putting people in jail and government going to have to pay for looking after prisoners, a lot of prisoners, for stealing goods or for committing some very minor offenses, they can be sentenced to do community service for the period that they are convicted for. So there's the Community Services Act.
The third bill na Mahama passing. In fact, this particular bill, in fact, a quarter parliament house a check. Na enu kwampo e ho be ba asem say so mo pass here, in fact e be ma niema bebre enkoye. Na this particular bill a tribunal bill. Na this bill a chese o ma pass sisi no say bia se wo ya ban mu nipa na e bia wakowi ade na say bia ordinary person say bia wakowi ade na e bia wa asem ni say bia nke be take be say 2 years 3 years and say ye di no. This particular bill e be boa ma chese ye be di ni tentem kra bra chese wo kwampo nim say di wasem.
Then there's the Tribunals Act. The Constitution makes provision for the establishment of regional tribunals. Parliament has passed it, and so this law gives effect to the Chief Justice to set up regional tribunals to deal with certain categories of offenses.
Now, the fourth one, a Maritime and Related Offence Act. In fact, this particular act,
there's the Maritime and Related Offences Act. These are to cover crimes and offenses that are committed at sea. And it gives effect to the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, which Ghana is a party to. And so this is the local domestic legislation to enforce that particular Maritime Offences Act.
Yes, and as I said, Fit one, in fact, Act for the National Defense University. And also one of the bills such as also no oka one sem kakra.
Then we have the Act for the National Defense University. As you are aware, we have set up a National Defense University, and this act gives effect to that university, accredits the courses, and makes it a legal and a statutory entity. So there's the National Defense University Act 2026.
Now, Ebusia, baku bioma achese no so no sese no abeje ntina won e wo social media. Income tax. Say bia we low income earner. Unim se Ghana say nanka first no ba Ghana say ya. Say bia we low income, we high income tax no ye beto. Anase bia beji. Say this particular bill we ebeboa amache say bia we low income earner. Ebetimi aboa ma se na ebe ya ye nte tax. And ye ekoba ni say bia ye amount for tax ye hwe income na emu say ye low. Say bia 700 cedis anase bia 1,000 e bia obetimi aka say okay ye nte.
Then we have the Income Tax Amendment Act. This act exempts people who earn the minimum wage and below from paying income tax. And so anybody who is on the minimum wage or below the minimum wage is exempt from income tax. Then there's the Energy Sectors Levy Amendment Act. It is to deal mainly with fuel oil for the factories and maritime vehicles that use fuel oil. Before they were exempt, and there was a lot of abuse. And so now they are required to pay the taxes and then present their evidence for reimbursement. And so it will plug a loophole that has existed for so many years. So there's the Energy Sectors Levies Amendment Act 2026. Then there's an interesting one. The Ghana Cocoa Board Act. I'm sure our cocoa farmers will be happy. It incorporates the reform of the cocoa sector, and it includes our promise that we're going to process at least 50% of our cocoa beans locally. And so this act incorporates that. Aside from that, the promise we made to farmers that they will earn 70% of the world market price of cocoa is also contained in this bill. So promise made, promise fulfilled. Then you have the Value-Added Tax Amendments Bill. This bill is to provide for an adjustment in the value-added tax. You remember recently we signed with the large-scale gold mines to surrender 30% of their gold to the Bank of Ghana. This exempts them from paying VAT on it. And so there's the Value-Added Tax Amendment Bill. And then we have the Excise Act. So this incorporates all the former laws and amendments on excise into one law. And so it affects alcoholic drinks and other such, cigarettes and other such goods. And it blocks the loopholes for revenue leakage. And so alcohol that is imported into the country, cigarettes and all other such dutiable goods are affected by this act. It also importantly gives exemption from paying excise tax to local manufacturers of fruit juices. It is supposed to give them an incentive in their production. So if you produce fruit juices locally, this act exempts you from paying excise duty. And so that's it. The Excise Act 2026. So 10 bills signed today. And thank you very much.
Yes, it is media Mahama a pass 10 bills as you say no. To say aminu ka say die e share from ende copim till. Obet me leave you comment or comment section as aha authentic West Studios. Make sure so be like, you be subscribe, you and share am afofo so nya bi ahwe.